Good afternoon, everyone. Josh Masters here. Today's post has come around from a conversation that I just had with a client talking about negatively geared properties versus positive cash flow properties and why they should go to a negatively geared property. Well, negatively geared properties are when the rental income doesn't cover the interest repayments and the maintenance costs that are coming from the property itself. So basically your income doesn't cover your expenses and you're left with a shortfall. Now, a lot of people would look at that and say, well, why do I want to lose money on an investment? And a lot of people, regardless of the income they're on, look at that equation and it doesn't make sense to them. Well, the secret here is that negatively geared properties are usually sitting in a stronger capital growth area. So what will happen is that while they're sacrificing a little bit of their income over time to pay for that property, they're actually getting stronger capital growth. Now, obviously, that's the assumption is that you do get capital growth over that time. And there's certainly been periods within Australia's history where it's remained very flat for some time. So that is the risk that you do get into with an investment like that. But you also have to remember that over time, and I'm talking probably 5 to 7 years, that shortfall actually decreases to the point where you start breaking even and actually it starts putting money in your pocket. So how does that happen? Well, you've got two components. You've got the income component and the expenses component. Now, the income component, the rent, that actually increases over time. I'm sure if you thought back 5 or 10 years ago, you're now paying probably a lot more rent than you used to. That's just natural inflation, and that's what happens with properties. Now, the expenses side of it, the interest repayments and the maintenance, generally tends to stay the same, if not fall, because you're paying down that loan. So what you'll find happen is that 5 to 7 years in, you might find that the rental income has actually caught up to your expenses and maybe even breaking even or putting money in your pocket. So don't be scared of negative gearing. If you're interested in stronger capital growth and you do have that income that can sustain a shortfall in the investment for at least 5 to 7 years, I highly recommend it. It's a very strong wealth creation exercise in property investing. So that's your tip for today. It's Josh Masters signing off for Empire Property.